to the sixth episode of Behind the Brush podcast.
I'm Sofia.
And I am Paiton.
And we are your hosts. So if you're interested in learning about finding your niche, growing your online presence, and how to grow your own community, then definitely check out our last episode about nail tech identity.
We also shared with you guys our summer nail trends of 2024. We got into some super cute trends, like literally super cute trends.
I love it.
And if you want to let us know what your top picks of the summer are, leave a comment down below and let us know. And before we get into our nails of the week, just wanted to let you guys know we are wrapping up the first season of our podcast, 6 whole episodes.
I know, it's been so exciting, but this is the last one. Just want to let you guys know that.
Yeah, we went through, policy, brand ambassadors, nail products, nail tech identity. So make sure you guys check out those episodes within the season. So, without further delay, let's check out our nails of the week.
Which is really so funny. Okay, so
unplanned.
Yes, because I have Hello Kitty surfboard.
Yes.
Like beach girl. Like she's a Hello Kitty beach girl. And I went with like a blue, orange, and pink like color scheme. And I did it like ocean going into sand in the background. Like I was really like trying to go somewhere with this. And I made her tan because obviously like it's summer, she gotta be a little bit tan.
Word, she out here.
But yeah,
I love the flowers though.
Thank you. And I had them the last time too. Like all over. I just like, it's like one of my favorite things. So once I started, it's like I just keep doing it. And then unironically, because of course I'm a nail tech, I only have one hand done because I wanted to do a new set because I wanted to change the base. I wanted to do pink.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't working out that way because it's 7 p.m. and we're just starting. So it's like, how much of my life do I want to give away to this right now?
That part.
So that's what we ended up with. So how about you?
So for me, definitely last minute design because
the admission of guilt.
Like I feel so bad because I did not know what I wanted to do, but I ended up doing like this ombre French on 2 nails with like some line work and then some flowers
matching a little bit.
Yeah, and then like this 3D chrome. I'm so embarrassed because this is not me, guys. They're cute, but like we're taking this off at the end of this show and doing something else. Yeah. And then other hand,
unplanned. And this just tells you everything that you need to know.
Like
and I told you like a couple of days ago, or like when we planned to record, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but like if we do it on this day, I'll have more time to figure it out.
We really thought we was about to bang that out before Thursday.
That's funny. Like that's a really funny thought.
Like bye.
So
plain Jane, no design.
So if you guys have been caught up with us this far and like all of the topics that we've covered, like how Pai mentioned, they all merge into something called customer service, such as like including brand ambassadors. Again, just to let you guys know, like brand ambassadors, nail products, and your personal identity, they all kind of build off of each other and will play into your customer service.
Yep. So like anywhere you go, honestly, whether it be a zoo, an ice cream shop, a restaurant, etc., we all deal with or experience some type of customer service, whether it be good or bad. And we kind of expect to be treated properly. We expect to be treated with respect and have a good experience rather than one that's like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of vibes. So wouldn't you want to offer the same with your business? There are many different factors that total up into the overall positive customer service experience. However, you don't have to overcompensate where it's not necessary as long as you focus on these main aspects.
Yeah, because as beauty service providers, like customer service always starts before they're in the chair.
And what do you mean by that?
Sort of how we discussed in one of our earlier episodes about policy. We spoke about how your policy is a way of like introducing yourself to your potential client even before like you even get to see them and meet them in person. And that is pretty much like similar to how your interactions with your potential clients, especially for beauty service providers in today's modern beauty industry, happens through DM and happens a lot through social media. And that interaction, a lot of the times, will ultimately determine if that person wants to come and get your services, or if they feel positively enough about like continuing to inquire about what you have. And so DMing people or direct messaging is like the top way that clients will interact with you. And sometimes that communication, though, like specifically like through online, whether it's like the DMs or just like texting in general, can get confusing and can be like hard to judge based off text. Like tone can
Right.
get lost through text messages.
Like, for
And
example,
yeah.
like if you're like, let's say a client sends you a DM and the first thing, like you've never spoken to this person before, it's just a random new message. And the first thing they say is, oh, how much?
Yeah.
And they just send you a picture. Or they'd be like, can you take me today? And, you know, it's like, how would you respond to like something like this?
Usually I do just answer their question.
Mm-hmm.
If the message is really like I feel like overly kind of like inconsiderate, where it's like you don't even say hi, you're kind of like, and like the message itself sounds like kind of like short and weird. Sometimes it's like I don't even know like if it's worth responding to, but most of the time I'll just respond.
Yeah.
And so like in the instance where it's like someone asking about the price of like nails, because that's like obviously you want to know, but it's like a hard thing to like get into sometimes, because you want to break it down and like whatever, what do you
Right.
want, what you don't want, what you don't want. But like, so in the instance of that, I always just explain, you book your full set online, I let you know how much the design is separately, and then with that information you can go ahead.
Right.
So I always just say the add-on price for the design would be this much. You can find out price of full sets online. Let me know if you
Yeah.
have other questions. And most of the time, they're just kind of like, okay.
Or they ghost you and it's just like no response.
Or that too. But most of the time,
Yeah.
it's just like, I just answered just like kind of very directly, because it's just like,
Because
I
I'm not
don't
gonna
know.
lie, it's hard. Like if they send you like a really complex design, they want to know how much. Like they don't say, oh, I want this exact length or I want this shape.
Yeah, so
It's
then you
kind of
have to
just
ask them more
right.
questions. So sometimes it's just, that's why I say like based off the tone of it, is like maybe I'm just gonna answer your question direct and not necessarily try to like deep give you a consultation, because people who want that, they'll be a little bit more direct about like, hey, I'm like interested in like a full set with these type of designs, like
Yeah.
the boom boom boom.
Like
That's
more
more of a
specific.
consultation versus just like how much.
How much, or like same day appointments. Like for
But like
those
yeah,
ones, I kind of just send like the link of
your booking.
the booking, and it's like if you want the appointment, like you can go ahead and book it. Like you see which days are available, what times are
Yeah,
available.
definitely.
So
Because it also just trains people just to do their own due diligence
yeah,
on their side of it. Like, you know,
because I feel like most of the time they don't necessarily go to your page. They kind of just see like you're a nail tech, and then they're just like, I'm not gonna even bother with going to the website. I'm just gonna go to the DMs.
yeah.
And then it's like, you know, like we said in the policy episode, like everything's there on that booking site. Everything's there in that policy. So it's like you're coming to ask questions that already have answers, and sometimes you might get frustrated over it. But then at the end of the day, it's like just answer the question. Like,
Because I feel like it's a misconception that a beauty service provider's Instagram page or social media pages is like where their business stops.
yeah,
A lot of businesses have websites, whether you book on there or it's just informational. A lot of people have a website so you can read. You're getting exposed to them through the social media, but then you have to continue to like see other outlets of like
right.
finding out about them, which is usually their booking site, and if that's connected to a separate website, if they have a storefront, can you go to the storefront and get
Right.
some more information? Can you call someone? Can you email someone? There's other ways to like interact with the business just outside of their social media, and I think a lot of people who aren't serious about like their services
Yeah.
don't read past that,
Yeah.
and that's where you get the short-handed people who aren't really serious about what this has to do. Because
Yeah.
when someone wants a full head of blonde like highlights for summer and you're dead serious about getting that, you're not just DMing people on Instagram about that. You're doing
Exactly.
research, you're calling salons, you're figuring
Right.
out how I can really do this the right way.
And even
Not,
if they are like someone that does color services, because like, what if they just do blogs and
you know, you have to investigate that because that's something that you're investing in a lot. So with
mm-hmm.
your nails, it's the same thing.
Yep, yep.
So when you are answering DMs, you can consider using like an automated copy and paste type of response to frequently asked questions. And that's not to say that you have to be a bot when you do it.
Word.
It's just something you kind of have rehearsed to say of like, hi, thanks for, reaching out or something. This
Mm-hmm.
is boom, boom, boom. But it's just kind of like the same kind of spiel that you could give
Yeah.
to like, again, frequently asked questions.
Mm-hmm.
But on the opposite end of that spectrum, like how many questions is too much questions for someone to be asking?
Yeah. So like this is always tough because you have people that ask so many questions, but then at the end of the day, once they get those questions,
Yeah.
answered, they ended up booking because
Yeah.
you've successfully answered to a threshold that they now are comfortable enough to book. And then on the opposite end, you have people that just ask a whole lot of questions, and they're not like you can tell after like maybe the third time they message you, like there's no intent to book.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of times where that can also be a frustrating thing
Mm-hmm.
because now you're taking your time to, answer these questions, but now you see there's no forward gain with the
Mm-hmm.
conversation at that point. Like it's just at this point,
It's like
especially
repetitive too, like every time they're asking you the same thing, which is just about designs,
mm-hmm,
or it's the same thing about always asking about a specific day, but then it doesn't like go forward anymore.
mm-hmm. Or it's like, oh, I really want to book this. And, you send the link to say, okay, well, you can book it here. And, they kind of just don't want to book on the site. They kind
Yeah.
of just want that, oh, yeah, I'll save a spot for you kind of thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of clients or people that inquire, you kind of have to, still afford them the same patience you would any other clients,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess in the back of your head, just know like, okay, they're not really serious about booking. They're kind of just looking for information
Yeah.
kind of vibes.
Yeah, looking for information for sure.
So it's always important to handle all of those clients with patience because all interactions, whether, it's someone that doesn't want to book or someone that does, they always leave a lasting impression on your
Mm-hmm.
business
Mm-hmm.
as a whole. So you always have to, keep that respect level, keep that patience because you don't want someone, to be like, oh, well, they were really nasty and rude
Mm-hmm.
to me and I was just trying to get some answers. So, you kind of want to keep the
Yeah,
same playing
definitely.
field
Yeah,
all the way
definitely. And
around.
all of that to be considered is again that interaction that happens before they're coming to see you. So
Mm-hmm.
it's even more important to just like take your time, like you said, and be patient with it because you don't have that personal
Like
aspect
interaction.
with it of literally
Mm-hmm.
being with them versus how like just like if someone's selling a car, you get to talk to them
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to convince them, so like you get to read them and like
Mm-hmm. And
make
there's
them
certain
feel
like
comfortable.
nuances you can
Yeah,
catch on to in person than you can like over text.
exactly. So like just like all of that interaction is just like important to keep in mind about like how you're going to approach it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's say like in the instant that a client messaged you and you answered all their questions to the best of your ability, right? And now 50% of the battle is done with that. So now let's say it's time for them to actually come in for their appointment.
Yes. And there are all kinds of clients out there. Some may be really easygoing, some can be very picky, but still easygoing. It's just,
Yeah.
they want what they want. So,
Yeah.
you got to give them what they want. And then, you'll have some problematic off the end type clients. However, when dealing with these types of like all these types of clients, it's your job to assess customer relation as time goes on
Yeah.
with these clients. And you have to assess it to the point where you want to avoid situations where you end up being like biting off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to do too much and then you don't want to do too little. You kind of have to find that balance of
Yeah.
where, um,
Like with the relationship with the client.
yeah, like you kind of you still want to maintain a good relationship even if it's like not a good client, if it's like a very problematic client, you still want to be, on your P's and Q's at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
definitely.
So
I feel
like,
like this is a really important aspect of like everything. Like your customer is always measuring where your relationship with your client is going.
yeah.
And like how those appointments are going, because there's a lot like to be like inferred and like and like understood from like, again, like those little things that happen, and like the way you guys talk to each other, the way that like your messages are, the way that it is when they get there, like all of those kind of like background things that aren't like direct are just so important and can get like lost in the mix. And that's why this episode with the customer service is, we're trying to kind of go like a little bit more beyond of like really like what that experience is like.
So like sometimes you might get, let's say you have like disrespectful or deceitful clients.
Yeah.
So, sometimes a client can be agitated when they come in for their appointment. And it's not necessarily anything you're doing. It's kind of just like they were already upset before they came in, and they're kind of like taking that anger out on you. Unfortunately, like sometimes it happens, and when clients start to feel that agitation, or they're throwing that anger towards you, you can't match their energy.
No. Yeah.
Like, this is not a situation where you match the energy, and like because they're being nasty to you, you have to be nasty to them. So, sometimes things may be said, things, that might hurt your feelings at the end of the day. But the best way to deal with these kinds of situations is to kind of understand from their perspective that, they came in, it's a bad day for them. You have to kind of look at it as like, it's not you, it's them.
Yeah.
And you still have to, treat the situation as if, it's just a regular day. They're having a bad day. Don't add on to it, because then that's like adding gasoline to the fire.
Yeah,
Like,
fuel
you're
to
just
the
gonna
fire.
blow up, and then now that's more ammunition that this person can have to say, oh, this is a bad business experience. Like, I've had a bad experience with them. Even though you were only trying to match their energy and show them that, like, you're not one to mess around with. You're not one to...
Right.
But at the end of the day, you kind of just have to be the bigger person and just take it to the chin.
Yeah.
Just...
Because I think that's also, too, where that dynamic of, like, having a beauty business mixes with, like, your personal life and stuff, because you are the business, so it's hard not to take things personally. But it's really for the betterment of like keeping your professionalism and your business and all those things like that, like to separate it sometimes and to understand, okay, they showed up like this. I know we're not having like a kiki appointment, like I'm the nail lady right now.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, it's just kind of be different this time, and that's okay. But like kind of reading the room on that sometimes, and understanding like it's not personal and stuff like that.
That's why it's always important to like assess. Like, when they're there in person, they might not be the same like they were over text. And you have to like really assess that situation to be like, okay, what kind of space are we in right now?
Yeah.
Is this like a high intense agitated space, or is this more like, a more calm, relaxed, giggle situation?
Exactly. And it doesn't even have to be anything like super dramatic either. It can just be like, for example, I feel like it could be something as little as someone was coming in after work, but whatever they were were trying to finish doing took too long. Now they're worried if they're going to be late, and they were trying to rush driving. So then what happens? You kind of start driving crazy.
Yeah.
And you get road rage now because someone was coming out because you were low-key going too fast.
Word.
Right. You're trying to find a parking space. I hope I'm not late. Oh, I stink because I was at work all day. And now I get there and I'm just like,
like, you want a silent appointment at that point.
So then you might be thinking, oh, like they're not usually as, the same as when they're usually here, but that's not a personal thing. You just don't know that they almost just got like smacked 5 minutes ago.
Right.
So you got to be able to read that and understand like, where that is coming from. And that's just like a really important like skill to be able to like build up. And again, it can just go from, it's just like a spectrum. It can be situations as simple as that or anything else.
So never match the energy. Right. Kind of just assess the situation and then go based off what you have gathered from what's going on.
Because you can only do so much, right? So then another example of sort of like how to deal with some of these like difficult situations are clients who are chronically late or completely miss appointments altogether. A lot of us, build into our policies consequences for lateness, like fees and penalties, and like canceling, like banning clients, even if it
Yeah.
becomes serious. However, do you find yourself dealing with someone who is constantly late for their appointments or they're canceling appointments?
Yeah.
And this specifically can feel confusing for a nail tech and definitely can fuel anxiety about like how you feel like your client feels about you and like
And like the lateness.
yeah and like your and like what you're offering, right, and like your work.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's like you're always late, does that really mean that you're like valuing my time? Do you really like appreciate kind of like the space that I'm providing, in the sense of like a lot of people are booked to the max, and if you're constantly late, and then it just kind of makes you feel like, well, I could have had someone else who was going to like
Right.
appreciate like
Like being on
that
time.
availability that I have to give.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're always missing their appointments or always late, it can kind of make you
Mm-hmm.
question things
And that too
about
gets
it.
tricky as well because it's like sometimes people really do have valid reasons for being
It's
late.
true.
And, sometimes it's kind of hard to gauge, like, are they being truthful? You kind of have that in the back of your head, like, are they really being honest about why they're late? Or are they just trying to, you know,
Get away with one.
right, like trying to get away with being late? And as a nail tech, sometimes you feel bad a little bit because it's
Yeah.
like, I really have to charge you a late fee if you're
Yeah.
late because, maybe what they're saying isn't adding up. But, crazy things happen sometimes. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what if it really did? But at the end of the day, like your policy states, like if you're late, you have to pay a late fee because, like you said, you have a fully packed out day one
Yeah.
day and, you can't, it, you're cutting it close. So I'll be running into someone else's time, which it can, have a negative effect on my business because it's like, okay, now I'm late
Pushing back everything.
to like with other people and it's not just you.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's where it can be tricky because it's like you have to learn or you have to like kind of give trust when it's very hard to do that
Mm-hmm.
when, they're always late or
Yeah.
they're always canceling. So it's very hard to like put your trust in that person because it's like you've built a reputation for
Yeah.
yourself at this point. So it's like you can't feel bad because it's like
Yeah. You have to have those boundaries at the same
mm-hmm.
time. It just is hard to feel like you're just kind of like dealing with the same issue like over and over and over
Mm-hmm.
again, like when it's just kind of like when we could be on time and just like avoid these
Yes.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's like constantly chronically, that's when it gets like the tiring
Mm-hmm.
thing. Every once in a while is like understandable, right?
Right.
But the constantly, that's when you have to kind of like assess what are the boundaries that we can put up. And some things that you might want to consider if you do find yourself facing like a client like this is considering requiring a larger percentage deposit for their appointments, or you could have a written and signed agreement, which I know people do, about them accepting appointments from you in general. A lot of people have their, have people for their first time, right? Like sign kind of like a disclosure agreement that they agree to have this service done, and any consequences, kind of like releasing them from fault, right? It really is a
Yep.
contract for liability. And they can have clauses in there where it says, if you miss up to 3 appointments or whatever the case may be, you cancel your appointment like same day 3 times, or
Yeah.
with, not within the policy, then you can't like book anymore. So that way they can understand like the severity of, what your actions mean, and that you are a business and you have to like conduct yourself a certain way. But those definitely are options for people because it just kind of sets the expectation at a certain place and helps your clients like meet it that
Yeah.
way. Because if you have this problematic client paying, let's say, like 50% of the service, that could be a good incentive for them to start like
Being on time. 'Cause
being
it's
on time
like,
and like really like adjusting whatever they need to do to like meet the
cause it's like,
expectation.
you paid that money, so you better show up.
So
'Cause
like,
it's
right, they like you must understand, right, like
yeah,
what this is if they continue to agree.
yeah. And it might seem like a lot of work, but sometimes you just got to put in the extra work just to make sure your business is running smoothly.
Yeah.
So now there's only a small percentage of clients that, end up being or like having these certain characteristics. So
Yeah.
you shouldn't feel discouraged when like you run into clients like these, because it can be discouraging sometimes. Like, oh, now they're going to badmouth me because of something they couldn't get their way.
Yeah.
And now like it's gonna fall on you, but at least like even if it does fall on you, like you did your
Yeah.
part. Like you did what a woman, businessman is supposed to do.
Like you kept your integrity.
Right. Like you didn't match the energy
Yeah,
at
pretty
that point.
much. And keeping yourself like aligned with your purpose and your work will definitely help to deter any feelings of doubt that these problematic situations like can cause. Like stand on business with yourself.
That part.
And avoid like bending the rules or like get acting out of character, which is easier said than done, but at the end of the day it's going to be exactly what you said of like that like you did everything like in your power to hold your business the right way and to do things what you feel like is the right way, and that will ensure that like you have like no regrets about like anything that you've done.
Yeah.
And you kind of give yourself, I feel like, what is always like should be good karma to yourself and like good business karma, because you did and said what you were gonna do and
Right.
just like did things by the book within your boundaries just to protect everybody.
Word. Because there's definitely been some times I wanted to break professionalism. Like you'll have those moments where your buttons are being pushed to the max, and sometimes you just gotta throw some ice on yourself. Tell
Yeah.
yourself to cool off, relax. It's not that deep, even though it could be. But
We're
what they say in Spanish, tranquilo.
exactly.
Don't worry, guys. I'm learning mi español.
Yes.
Anyway, customer service is not only, however,
Yeah.
about client interaction, but it's also about the experience you provide your clients.
Yeah.
And, finding ways to make them feel comfortable and welcome into your space plays a huge part in client retention and the overall experience.
Yeah.
So, what is the Santa Claus experience that comes with the service?
That's funny. So my Santa Claus experience is definitely a comfortable environment. I'm home based. I've had my home salon for years now at this point. And I just make it like super comfy. I have like all my decorations when you walk in. Got the crisscross chair, got the low lighting, got my music, got snacks. Because I always say like, this is your nail appointment. You're paying to be here. You're paying for my time. So if you're coming after work and it's been stressful and you just want to sit there and quiet, that's fine. If you want to like eat like half my snacks, that's fine. If you just want to sit there and watch your Netflix show, that's fine. If you want to talk, that's fine. And then also to that point of it's your nail appointment, I definitely like to have my clients involved in like the designing process of their nails. I really like to know a lot about what they expect and what they envision, because those two things are different. And really like have them be like super involved in like picking things out, making sure everything like looks good together. And with that too is just, I just like to provide a lot of advice and like my opinion, a lot of explanation of like your options of, okay, if we do this color, maybe if for your fill, let's do this. If we do this, we can't do that. Or how about let's change them for this color instead of that. I just like to give my personal opinion, let them consider everything. And then just give them advice about like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe next time we shorten them and let's do this. If you want to change your shape, we have to do that. So that way you have all the information.
Yep.
And I like to do it like off rip in the beginning so you can just kind of like chill.
Yeah.
I compare it to like ordering all your, like when you sit down at a restaurant, I always just pick out what I want off rip so I don't have to think about it. Because then you sit down and you start talking with your friend and the waitress already came around 3 times and you still didn't pick what you wanted.
Yeah.
So let's pick now. And then you
get
can
it
chill
out of the way.
and get it out the way.
Word.
So we pick everything out. We get on the same page. And then you can sit there, watch TV. I can zone in.
Right.
And then we're just chilling.
Just vibing.
So I just like to vibe. I like to just like because that also helps me to just like really like envision like everything that I'm gonna do.
Word, word, word.
And I just like to keep it comfy.
That's true. Her space is very comfortable. I've been there before.
So she could say, she's a truther. She's a truther.
TIP.
And so, what can your future clients expect from the Acrylic Theory experience?
Well, so for my grown folks, my grown people, for my grown people, I, offer some wine sometimes, if you just want to unwind, relax, one glass per person, 'cause, I don't want you drunk driving home. So,
Yeah.
word, one glass, take it easy. I offer them, if you want to watch TV. We usually, chop it up with Gordon Ramsay up in here most of the
Literally
times.
chopping it
like,
up.
Literally
chopping it up.
literally chopping it up with Gordon Ramsay in here. Like, most of the times we're watching cooking shows, like, top tier. And, what else? Sometimes I be having snacky snacks for my little underage folks. We have snacks and drinky drinks, if you want
Because
to.
it do be the youngins that be having the
Word,
fruit snacks. I love you guys.
word.
I really do. But I've just got some SpongeBob fruit snacks and like they're gone. So.
They be, yo. You just get them, they're gone within a week.
Yeah.
Okay? They'd be like, "Can I have another?" And I'm like, "Go ahead, girl.
That's
Go
what I said.
ahead.
I don't
like,
care.
take it all. Take it all." We got a charging station if you need it, you
Yep.
know. What else do I do here? I also it's also like a one-on-one experience,
Yeah.
Whatever you want. If you want to change your design when you come in, that's fine too. Just I always make sure like we have enough time for it if you do want to change it.
Do you always know what your clients are going to get before they come?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like on the booking site, like you can put a picture of what you want.
Okay, perfect.
So like I'll always know, and then like if they don't want it anymore, they'll be like, "Can we do this instead?" And I'm like, "Yeah, girl,
okay.
like let's do it." And I just always have to make sure like there's enough time in the appointment slot to do it. And then if not, we just kind of
Adjust
freestyle.
it.
Like, oh, if you want to add this here and add that there, then we kind of just do that. But I kind of like that. Like, you know what you want before you come in. Because sometimes, like, I'll have clients that be like, "I don't know what I want." And I'd be like, "Oh, that's crazy." But I'd be like, "Could you sent this, so you don't want this anymore?" And they'd be like, "Nah, I kind of just want to switch it up." And I'm like, so now I'm sitting there panicking again, trying to figure out, like, okay, what are we going to do with your nails? And, sometimes that takes, like, max 10 minutes. Because we literally be sitting there, like, trying to figure out what it is we want to do with the nails. But, like, after that, it's kind of touch and go from there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a nice little spot.
I like
nice
it.
little space.
So, to all the nail techs and other beauty service providers watching, what is your customer experience like? And to the clients and the nail enthusiasts, what are some things that you'd want to be included in your overall customer experience?
Yeah, because, we would like to know what you guys like so that we can be able to, provide it for you if it's possible, So, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is the season finale. So, we'd like to share with you guys some things that are on our wish list that we, would want to help out with overall customer experience. So, we're going to get into the segment called Wish I May, Wish I Might. So,
yeah, what is on your Wish I May, Wish I Might list?
Okay, so I definitely still want a picture wall, but this time...
Okay, the display thing.
Yeah, but this time I think I want, like, actual client pictures. Like, you know how they do the little pictures and it comes out on the little...
like a Polaroid?
Yeah, like a Polaroid camera, and you just kind of have, like, your clients up on the wall.
That's cute.
Like, I feel like that's so cute, especially, like, the loyal ones that always come.
Yeah.
And they can, like, see their pictures
Yeah.
and then their favorite nail designs that they've ever gotten done. Like, I feel like that would be really cute to have, like, on a wall so they can see. And, like, if they want to take the pictures with them, here you go.
Oh,
like, you can have the pictures.
That is cute.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of displaying it because there's just be so many sets that you do that you're just like, that was fire, that was fire. And it needs to go somewhere.
Exactly. And you don't want to keep, like, scrolling all through your phone to find that one set. Like, oh, let me see if I can find it. And then when you finally find it, it's, like, 3 years ago. And you're like, damn, now I got to try to save this so it's somewhere. At least if it's on a wall, it's, like, a physical picture
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
have. Another thing that I really want to do is like the steam towel service. Like
Mm-hmm.
after you put the, what's it called? Like
Like,
after you, yeah, like the scrub
okay.
on their hands, and then you fold their hands into this nice
Mm-hmm.
steamy towel,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take it off, and they're like, "Oh, my skin's so soft," and I'm like, "Yes, we did that." Like I want to also
Yeah.
like have that on my surfaces. Like, let me get you a steam towel.
Yes,
Let me make you
yes.
feel
I low key
like
love a steam towel. Like, I
word.
really do.
Like, let me make you feel like you're in a spa right
Like,
now.
especially when you get like a pedicure too and they just like toss it on your leg.
So you're like, oh, that feels so good.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what is some things that are on your wish list that you want for your client experience?
Mine is low key the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I like the towels idea, but I was thinking like I could just do like a steam hand massage. Like that'd be really. I feel
Ooh.
like that would be cool, and I can like rub your hand and your wrist and
Yeah.
like your arm like a little bit, and then do. There's this one nail salon that I would go to when I was first like starting to get nails, and they're really cool. They're really clean in there. It's Begins Nail Spa on Warwick Ave.
Check it out.
They're very nice in there, and they do massaging in there. Like they do
Ooh.
spa stuff in there too. Like it's not just a nail salon. They do like spa stuff and waxing in there
Really?
too. And when you get like a manicure and like stuff, they will massage like your neck and like your shoulders.
Yeah.
While like I don't know, maybe like you're soaking your fingers while you're doing something else with your nails.
Uh-huh.
They'll come and like rub the back of your neck. And the first time I ever got it done, I was like, this is insane.
She said, "This is the life."
Because
Oh
you've
my
got like your
gosh.
hands like in the bowl or something like
Yeah.
that. And then you got someone rubbing your neck, and it's just like,
That must feel like heaven.
so they put me on to there. Check them out too if you're local to Warwick Ave or Providence area.
Yes.
They're very nice in there, and like they have a really good experience. Like
Yeah.
it's really nice in there. So I've always considered doing that.
Chad, I might have to stop there just for the massage services.
Yeah, they
Cause
have massages there.
oh,
The thing where you like lay down.
oh
put your face
yes,
in,
yes,
like that.
yes. Say less, cause that's gonna be me.
Because it's part of like that. I love the pamper
Mm-hmm.
vibes. Like super good.
Like you're here for a pampered kind of day.
Mhm.
Like
I always love Disney movie scenes where it's like makeover. I love a makeover movie.
yes,
With like a white towel and cucumber slices on the eyes. Like I love.
like one person's doing your hands,
Yeah.
the next person's doing your feet. Like you just living the life at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
So one day we're gonna get there.
Yes.
We're gonna have everything we wish for.
Manifesting.
Period. So make sure you leave us a comment about your dream nail appointment experience.
Yes.
We would really love to know.
So we'll have our socials on the screen and in the description box below per usual. And so make sure to check out all of our other episodes, especially our first episode is our introduction if you're new to us.
Yes.
And we covered so many good topics for beginner and advanced nail techs alike. This first season was really like, a collection of a lot of the one-on-one things that is really important to know.
Yes. So we will start up a new season after a quick summer break because, everybody needs a break.
Yeah.
Hello. So catch our weekly tech talks
Yeah.
on our Instagram and our TikTok so you're not too lonely without us.
Yes.
And keep up and don't be a stranger.
Yes. So make
Please.
sure to subscribe and smash that like button. Thanks for watching. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Peyton, and this is Behind the Brush Podcast.